and I can't follow it. Whereas once the scroll to object is enabled, I have a sort of camera that is directly following the object as I go along. And there is the code there that is made so that my object will go back to his normal position. And to better see it, I will change. Oh, that is ugly. Let's change the background color. So move out of the screen. Yet it's not very. You can't see it this way. So let's go back in the projects property and add. Let's go back to crop. Well, never mind. At the moment, actually, when you are getting out of the bounds of the layout, so this big square right there I have, which is my layout, the code is made in such a way with this event. When my player object is outside of the layout, I'm changing and setting its position back to its original position at the position 138 and 191. The X, Y coordinates in construct are taken from the top left corner of the screen. So there my object is very close to 0, 0. There it's a bit further away, and this current object is one of the furthest. This one has the bigger X and this one has the bigger Y position. So the lower you go, the bigger your Y position will be, and the more on the right you go, the bigger your X position is going to be. That is quite important to remember, and if I remember correctly, I think that the SDL library used to do it the same way. But it's been a long time I haven't used it, so maybe it's actually the opposite. I can't remember to be sure, but in Construct you are setting it from the top left corner for sure. So let's go back to a last example. Maybe it's actually, yeah, if you want to go directly on your own, you can go and download the free version directly from Scara.com. You can download it, and we are quite lucky today because actually the latest version that was released is the stable R184. There is stable versions and there are betas versions, and the release cycle is quite fast as well. We have pretty much a new release, at least a beta, almost every weeks, and a stable release about every 6 weeks. So there is one developer behind Construct, and is very regarding and very present. You can have direct feedback from him, get directly in touch with him, and his name on the forums is Ashley, and it's a guy's name. So yeah, you can go ahead and download the free version if you want. That's this version, and actually if you ever decide to go in the store and buy Construct 2, you will keep downloading from this very place actually, and the license is a txt file you add actually to your installation, and that will unlock all the features. And so yeah, when you are installing and upgrading to a new version, it's really advised to actually uninstall the previous version for compatibility reasons. And one other thing you can note is that you can actually install Construct 2 on it's a portable installation, so you can very well install the version of your choice and have actually concurrent versions on the very same computer if you want to. It's just advised to only have one version and make sure to uninstall all the others. And you can install the version of your choice on an USB stick and go to whatever computer you want, and you will be able to use the installed version directly from the USB stick and even have your licensed version from there, which is pretty nice and pretty interesting as well. So this was the last note. I will be getting back to my manual because it's really one of the tools that is quite interesting. There is everything you want to know. There is a lot of references for all the official plugins and behaviors. So remember, behaviors are actually add-ons that you will add to a plugin. So you can take whatever plugin you want and add more or less whatever plugin behavior you want to it. We are going to see it a bit more in detail, and by making a new project and actually showing you how it goes, doing a prototype within Construct, and hopefully make it a bit more structured. So when I'm making a new project, you have a select template dialog. There are more actually examples you can have there. So examples like the browse examples, but you can see also templates that are providing along Construct 2, and that can help you setting up a game quite quickly and have the basic elements for it. But for this, I will just go and select a new empty standard landscape project. I open it, so I have a basic layout which is empty. I have a few properties from my projects that are set it on. A window size of 800 by 54 and 400 by 480. I have a full screen browser directly, which is in letterbox scale. I can play with the scaling. As you can see in the bottom left, whenever you are selecting a property, you do have some online help provided there, and you can, whenever you want, click on the help link button that will take you directly to the manual article that is the most likely. There I mean the project properties, and I'm being taken to the projects article, which contains the project properties, the name of the properties, and a description of what it does, with examples. Sometimes there are links that takes you to tutorials. You can see in the tutorial section, excuse me, and that can allow you to go further into the specific elements. For example, use loader layout allows you to make custom loading screens. So instead of having a fixed screen at first, you can make your own loading screen and put the elements you want, etc., etc. There are a lot of properties for projects as well as for behaviors plugins, and so on. So I'm starting from there. I'm going to make a quick platform game there. So I will start by going back into my ribbon, snapping to grid and actually showing a grid. So by default, the grid width and height are 32 by 32. You can modify it if you want. Make it 48 by 64. It's not very interesting, and I'll keep to 32 by 32 for this example. Here it is. And so from now on, whenever I'm double-clicking, and double-clicking allows me to add some plugins. So it is the first time you are seeing exactly what are the plugins. I can zoom this window. It's still accessible from the manual interface article. And so the new objects that are accessible, all those are packed and packaged with Construct. It's official plugins that are delivered with Construct. And one of the most basic and most useful object plugin you will use is the sprite object. I've quickly showed you earlier. So I will go and make my character. So I will actually make it 32 by 32 square and fill it with a color, pretty much like the example I had earlier. And I will add to it a behavior, and now you can see the behaviors that are added directly with the construct as well, and add the platform behavior. I will add another sprite. This time, this one will actually still be a 32 by 32, but I will make it black. Time to rename. It's always a good idea. So let's name it ground, and this is going to be my character. My character has a platform behavior, and my ground will have a solid behavior. And this is going to make it so that if I preview, my sprite is actually following, and I have default controls, the arrow keys on my keyboard. And so, as you can see, it's I kind of already have a working engine, and I've just thrown a couple of objects, a couple of behaviors, and I can already have it working on my screen. So that's nice, but we can do better. First thing, I will actually want to make it a bit nicer. So I will try to actually import some frames from a sprite strip. So I've went on, as you can see, I have a folder of images and different sprites that I can use and rely on. And for the purpose of this presentation, I had went on and went to opengamearts.org, if I can find, here it is, opengamearts, and I've taken a nice player sprite. So I will show you, I have it here, what it looks like. It's this sprite sheet, as you can see. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 4, and it's pretty nice. I can work with that. It's pretty cool. So I've counted that I have 8 horizontal cells and 4 vertical cells. And here I go. Now I have my character, which is under an animation. So if I was to preview it, so here I have an animation dialog, animation frames, which is really each frame of the sprite. If I do a preview, I will have all my frames just playing one after another. But I will want to cut it out a bit more. So for example, I would start by removing all those frames and just staying with this one that I will name idle. That's my character's default animation. And on this one, I will want it to run. So I will import frames again from the same file, still 8 by 4, and I will just use the images I'm interested in, which should be those. And in the properties animation, so I have selected my animation, and on the left tab in the properties, I can set it to loop. So this way, when I preview it, it is running and it keeps running in loop directly. It's nice.